last lesson, we talked about the serving sizes and serving signs for each of the 5 food groups. We also talked about the number of servings that we should eat from each food group every day so that we can be healthy. Today, we're going to complete our workbook pages. Now would be a great time for you to grab your workbooks and turn to pages 16 and 17 so that you can follow along. Are we ready? Let's get started. We'll start at the top of page 16. Lesson 3, Serving Signs. Sydney's servings. In the symbol column, write or draw the correct hand symbol for the foods with blanks. Sydney's daily meals tells us that for breakfast, Sydney had an egg burrito. She had a tortilla with eggs, cheese, strawberries on the side, and a glass of low-fat milk. In the symbol column, there are blanks for the tortilla and the strawberries. In Sydney's egg burrito, she had 1 tortilla or 1 serving of grains. How do we measure a serving size of grains for a tortilla? That's right. We use 1 flat hand to measure a serving size for a tortilla. Strawberries on the side, she had 1 cup. How do we measure a cup of fruit, in this case, strawberries, using our hand? That's right. We use 1 fist. Now would be a good time to pause this video to complete Sydney's daily meals for lunch, snacks, and dinner. Once you've completed this chart, you can press play to move on to page 17. Continue to fill in the number of servings Sydney had today in the bar graph labeled Servings Chart. The servings will be filled in on top of each other as Sydney has more than 1 serving of food in each food group. Use the completed bar graph below to answer the questions in the What I Learned section. Remember, you can always refer back to page 15 in your workbook as a reference when completing this chart. The example given below is the tortilla that Sydney had for breakfast. 1 tortilla is equal to 1 serving of grains. This bar graph is filled into the 1 with tortilla next to it. Let's finish Sydney's breakfast together. In addition to the 1 tortilla, Sydney also had 2 eggs. How many servings of protein is 2 eggs? That's right. 2 eggs is equal to 2 servings of protein. We'll fill in this bar up to the 2, and we'll write eggs right next to it. Sydney also had 1 serving of cheese. We'll fill in the dairy bar graph up to 1, and we'll write cheese. What other dairy food did Sydney have with her breakfast? That's right, she had 1 cup of low-fat milk. So we'll fill this in up to the 2 for her second serving, and we'll write milk. And lastly, Sydney had 1 serving of fruit on the side of her breakfast. We'll fill in this bar up to the 1, and we'll write strawberries right next to it. Once you've completed this servings bar graph, you can move on to the What I Learned section. Here you'll be asked, did Sydney eat the right number of servings for each food group for the day? Please explain. The second question is list 3 reasons why it may be difficult to get the right number of servings every day. An example might be, we don't have any fruit at home that I like. Thank you for being here with me today and for completing your workbook pages. Don't forget to turn them in. Make sure you try to eat the recommended number of servings from each food group each day, and we'll see you later.
down a brand